listening to The Mouth
every Friday on Source FM. You're listening to The Mouth.
This is The Mouth, your go-to radio show for all things Falmouth and beyond. I'm Madison James.
I'm Darcey Treloar.
And I'm Maddy Peplow. Our headlines today.
Keep it open. Cornwall's Army Museum needs you.
We don't shout now. 300 years of army history will disappear from Cornwall. So join us as we fight for our future.
And have you ever tried seaweed in vodka? Well, apparently it's a more likely combination than you'd think.
We've got the Dulce and the Carrageen vodka. Those are both coming out in the next fortnight, and that would hopefully complete the seaweed range.
Cornish language, plays and films. Worries that lack of funding will stop new projects.
I think it's just really important to nurture creativity in a space in the town.
You're listening to The Mouth
Every Friday on Source FM. You're listening to The Mouth.
Also in the show, I'll be chatting with Harry Blackburn from the band Patria for a fascinating insight into Falmouth's local music industry.
And of course, we'll also be bringing you the all-important weather, surf and what's on updates. But first, the news.
It's not every day you get asked to fight for a piece of Cornwall's history, but that's exactly what Bodmin Keep is rallying people to do. Our reporter, Madison James, went to find out more.
Cornwall's Army Museum at Bodmin Keep are calling on the public to help secure its future, warning that without support, the Keep's 160-year-old story could disappear from the county.
Bodmin Keep's Fighting for Our Future campaign, which launched in April this year, is about raising funds to help the museum survive this period of temporary closure and about letting the Army know why the museum is important to communities in Cornwall.
In August 2024, they were forced to shut their doors after serious structural problems were found, leaving the museum with no visitors and no ticket sales. A year on, and it's still closed. We spoke to director Helen Bishop-Stevens to find out what's going on.
The museum, which is run by a charitable trust, has offered to take ownership of the building once the repairs have been carried out and raise the funds needed to renew the building and museum. But delay has followed delay. Repairs promised for completion by spring 2025 are on hold, so the museum can't reopen. At this point in time, it is unclear whether the Army will fund those repairs or whether it will decide to give up the keep as an unaffordable challenge. Cornwall's Army Museum is using the funds it holds in reserve to survive.
The team has now launched a campaign asking locals to write letters to their MPs explaining why the museum matters to them.
We've had a great response from Ben Maguire and his team and Anna Geldard MP. We know our campaign is working and that senior figures in the Army are considering our proposal. So let's not stop now. You'll find information about writing a letter of support on our website under the Support Us menu.
Based in Bodmin's historic Victorian barracks, the Keep shares stories of Cornish soldiers and communities from the past 3 centuries, as well as running workshops, wellbeing projects, exhibitions and school trips. We spoke to some locals for their views.
I mean, personally, I think it would be a huge loss to the community, and we all need to fight to keep it.
I remember going to the museum on school trips when I was younger, and being a TA now myself in Bodmin, I think it'd be a real shame for children to miss out on that opportunity.
It's part of our history that should be maintained for future generations.
We're really grateful for the donations and expressions of support that we've received so far, because we know that if we don't shout now, 300 years of army history will disappear from Cornwall. So join us as we fight for our future.
Any letters of support must be in by the 31st of October this year. The team say every message helps to show that Cornwall's heritage and its stories are worth fighting for. 14% of us drink vodka in the UK, so it can be hard to imagine such a well-known drink changing. But Damion Miller spoke to the founder of a renowned Cornish vodka brand. It's called Morgawa, after the Cornish mythical sea monster based in Falmouth. He found out how they've started using seaweed in their drinks.
Morgau Vodka is a specialist vodka company that, in order to stand out amongst its competitors, had started using a special ingredient, seaweed. I spoke to George McEwen, co-founder of Morgau Vodka, to discover why exactly this unexpected ingredient is going to be the future of Cornish vodka.
Me and my brother started in 2023, so just about 2 years now. My brother's been in the alcohol trade for most of his life, so he kind of knew the ins and outs of the business. I've always wanted to get the experience of starting up a business and running a business, given that I studied it for university. So it kind of went hand in hand.
Seaweed is a plant famous across Cornwall, known for its abundant growth around the coastlines. But hearing it as an ingredient in vodka must seem very strange.
Mainly carrageen, but other seaweeds as well. They have a chemical in them which, when they are placed in a liquid, it releases a chemical that helps smoothen out the vodka. Carrageen is the most prolific in that area, so the carrageen vodka is the smoothest out of the three, but it just helps with the mouthfeel. So the more seaweed you add in, the smoother the vodka. But again, part of the trial and error process that we did for making the vodka was figuring out how much seaweed to put in. The reason is clear. There's not a lot of seaweed in it, because the more seaweed you add in it, the murkier it gets and the greener it gets, and the less sellable it is, because you see a murky green vodka, you don't want to buy it. Traditionally, vodka is supposed to be a clear, neutral spirit which doesn't taste of anything, so we wanted to stay as close to that as possible. But still, despite the low amount of seaweed in it, it still has that smoothness to it, without the flavour from it.
Starting a business can be difficult, especially in a market such as this one, so full of competitors. It can be hard to stand out and figure out what exactly your customers want.
The most difficult part, I'd say, was learning how to sell the stuff and understanding how your product links to what different people value is a steep learning curve. So, but we're getting there, and the more products we release, the easier it'll be to understand what people are after and how to sell stuff. But that's the most difficult part.
The latest census has found that nearly 100,000 people now identify as Cornish. The number has tripled over the past 10 years. However, there are worries that funding for Cornish arts has reduced. Molly Sexton spoke to Beth Thomas at the Poly, an art space in Falmouth, about how they champion local arts.
I'm Beth Thomas. I do the film programming here. I also do the volunteer management, so I'm across the board. I do a lot of daytime, lots of evening, but I do primarily kind of event management and then admin.
The Poly is a community art space with a theatre, archives, gallery and a cafe.
We've been here since 1833. We're basically an art centre. We kind of cover lots of different areas. We're a charity as well. We're a community-led charity, so we do lots of community-focused things. But in terms of what we've got in the building, we run films, we do theatre, we do comedy. We do music gigs. We've also got a pottery. We do workshops. We also have a bar and cafe, and we have a gallery space downstairs. We do big galleries and big markets upstairs as well. We also have a locally focused guild shop, so everyone in that shop is based in Cornwall.
The Poly aims to promote the arts with a focus on Cornwall, believing that there should be no barriers to accessing the culture and creativity of the area.
We have the gallery space downstairs, so that's hireable, so people can hire that per week. Anybody can hire that space. Obviously, we do encourage local people to hire that space, but anybody could hire that space. We've had people come down from London before and other places to hire that. We have the guild shops. The shop is all local artists' work, and we invite people in locally, or people can submit. So we ask students often as well to submit. We approach people at markets and we say, hey, your work looks great. Have you ever been represented by a shop? And they often say, no, we've not. And we go, cool, do you want to be represented by a shop? We'll have you in stock.
Cornish Arts have received £21.6 million in direct public investment from the Good Growth Programme. This funding has helped bring local creativity forward and fund the teaching and promoting of Cornish language, a key part of the Cornish identity.
In terms of Cornish language work, it depends on when things get funded. So for a few years ago, there was lots of big pots of money for people to create films that were in Cornish. So we saw a big influx of films in Cornish then. That is still a funding case now. If you're doing a film in Cornish, you can get funding to have it in Cornish. So we have that occasionally, but I will say it's dropped off a little bit recently because that funding isn't there as much. The funding is less now than it was a couple of years ago. There's less stuff being created in that. So it's really where the money is.
Local art feeds its community, bringing people together as well as contributing to the local economy.
I think it's just really important to nurture creativity in a space, in a town. So often it's just coming to events, because anytime someone comes to an event, that really does help us out. It means that our margins are easier. You can become a member of most places, you can become a member of the poly, and that gets you like a free film ticket, but also it supports the poly, and also it gets you discounts on things as well. So it's stuff like that that really helps support us.
You're listening to The Mouth.
Every Friday on Source FM. You're listening to The Mouth.
Stay tuned to The Mouth. Coming up, we have some more stories for you.
Like a meal in a box at your front door. The meal kit market is on track to double in 5 years as users surge.
That it was a really good way of not wasting food, as quite often I would find it hard planning what we was going to eat for the week.
Do you love cheap thrills? With Halloween only a week away, look no further than your local charity shop.
Halloween is all about imagination. I used to take our men's white shirts and things like that and put fake blood and rip them up a bit and black shoe polish and things like that.
Keeping with the Halloween spirit, ghosts and ghouls on sticky carpets no more. A new trend in art Halloween in Falmouth.
Yeah, spooky music, sing-alongs and stuff like that. So it's going to be a really, really fun night.
You're listening to The Mouth.
Every Friday on Source FM. You're listening to The Mouth.
As more households ditch the weekly shop for meal kit subscription services, Darcey Treloar decided to find out why.
An increasing number of households are ditching the supermarket and opting for ingredients delivered straight to their doors.
So what I really like about HelloFresh is the convenience of you can just go on the website, pick out what meals you want.
Meal kits are subscription services that deliver pre-proportioned ingredients and recipes on a weekly basis straight to your door. A Grandview research study found that the industry was valued at just under £1 billion in 2023. It is expected to reach over £2 billion by 2030. HelloFresh is one of the brands that currently dominate the industry, holding the largest UK market share of 43% in 2023, while competitor Gusto held 34%, Consumer Edge found. A family of 4 can expect to pay around $69.99 for 5 meals a week from HelloFresh and $61.75 from Gusto. Why are there so many households switching over to meal kits? We spoke to Dee, a mother from Red Roof.
I've been using HelloFresh for probably 6 months. So I started using HelloFresh because I was recommended by a friend that it was a really good way of not wasting food, as quite often I would find it hard planning what we was going to eat for the week, and then having food in the fridge and then not cooking it and wasting it. So this was a way of planning what I was going to do for the week, and I know how much I'd be spending because you do it all through the app and you could plan out how many people eat and for how many days, so it's really perfect. And you haven't got to sit and meal prep and go shopping, and it all just gets delivered to you and all the ingredients, so you know what you're going to be eating for the whole week.
We also spoke to Zach, a student from Truro.
I started using HelloFresh about 4 months ago. I decided to use it because I really struggled to make myself healthy meals consistently, but with this it basically all just prepares it and it's all put together, so it means I get loads of variety and there's just a lot less waste. It's very good.
Whether it's for convenience, cutting waste, or just trying something new for dinner, it seems meal kits are becoming a regular feature at Britain's dinner tables.
Looking for a Halloween costume and don't know where to start? Many charity shops are already stacked plenty with pre-loved costumes. Tia Bodie spoke to Tanya Henderson from Children's Hospice Southwest on how you can support your local charity shops this spooky season.
My name's Tanya. I'm the manager at the Falmouth shop. We've been open since April. Been with the hospice for almost 3 years now.
Children's Hospice Southwest supports 3 hospices that provide specialist care and support for children and young people with life-threatening and life-limiting conditions. Tanya's store helps fund that work, and right now it's stocked with a great selection of Halloween clothing, costumes and accessories.
Obviously some people want to decorate and they'll be looking more for the decorations. Other people are looking for clothing. There's a couple of dresses, some witches' hats, lots of kids' costumes still. A little bit of decoration. I'm waiting for some more stock to come in, so definitely before Halloween we'll have a nice fresh batch that hasn't been out yet.
Charity shops can be a goldmine for near-perfect costumes and accessories that can be worn again or become part of your Halloween DIY project.
Halloween is all about imagination. I used to take our men's white shirts and things like that and put fake blood and rip them up a bit and black shoe polish and things like that. So, at the end of the day, it's what you make of it.
But it's estimated that 7 million Halloween costumes are thrown away each year in the UK, and 4 in 10 costumes are only worn once. And with growing awareness around waste and the environmental impacts of fast fashion, it's no longer just about what we buy, but what we do with it afterwards.
Well, at the end of the day, we're all got to worry about our planet, and sustainability is an important factor in life, really, at the end of the day. So, yeah, instead of keeping it, throwing it away and you just use it for one night, there's always someone else who would love to have it, and maybe they can then redonate it as well. We're one of the few shops that actually take donations in store. So anytime you want to come down, bring us donations. It's easier if you're driving down with a few things to either do it before 11 or after 4. And literally it's a matter of just bringing it. There's no donation station or anything like that. And we're actually really desperate for donations. So that would be amazing if anyone's got any bits and pieces they want to bring down. That would be great.
So whether you're looking for a cheap pre-loved costume, dropping off a bag of donations, or getting creative with what you have at home, check out your local charity shops. You never know what you might find.
And what to do once you've got that outfit. With Halloween just around the corner, students are on the hunt for a place to show off their costumes without the chaos of local clubs. One Falmouth studio is offering a unique alternative, a spooky themed pottery night that is sure to get you in the haunting spirit. Katie Winsor reports.
A popular student spot in Falmouth, Starglazers is a pottery painting studio designed to suit both the novice painter and the next Van Gogh. I recently had the opportunity to speak to one of its managers to learn more about what to expect from their upcoming Halloween events for students who are thinking about ditching the club this spooky season.
So my name's Christine, I'm the manager at Starglazers, and we are a pottery painting cafe that's open from Wednesday till Sunday, and people come in and paint pots and we fire and glaze them.
From bowls to skulls, within the beginner-friendly space, there's a vast variety of products to pick from, leaving you the chance to be as creative as you wish without any pressure on perfection. Although many students are hesitant of trying new things at university, with or without a group, Christine insists that she believes the environment they've created is a safe space for all to enjoy.
We're open every Thursday evening from 7 till 9, and we often have people come in on their own, and they say that they have a really nice time, like surrounded by everyone, but just kind of on their own and painting. And a lot of the time people will just be painting quietly as well. I'm terrible at painting, but I love coming in and doing this. It's really, really fun. And yeah, it's just a really cool space to be. It's a really fun environment.
Unlike some of the other advertised events in town, Starglazers offers a more relaxed alternative. While alcohol is available, the event isn't centred around drinking, aiming to be a refreshing change from the booze-heavy options that many students can find extremely overwhelming and a little bit awkward. In line with this, according to a recent 2025 survey, Gen Z's drinking habits are 20% lower than those of millennials. Instead, students in particular seem to be prioritising their money, health and mental well-being, with trends like the clean girl aesthetic and self-care dominating social media for you pages. With this in mind, it's no surprise that this Halloween, many people may be opting out of the sticky floors, expensive tickets and excessive drinking. Fortunately, Starglazers offers an affordable night out that aligns with this mindset. Although pottery isn't included in the ticket price and can range in price depending on your desired item, the overall cost remains student budget friendly, making it a night to remember without breaking the bank.
It's £10 per person for adults, which includes the drinks, and if you have kids that would like to come along, we're doing a children's one also on the 30th and the 31st from 4:15 till 5:45. Included in the price ticket, we've got 2 creepy cocktails, and then it's fancy dress and it's painting pottery. We've got ghosts, skulls and pumpkins to paint, and we're doing like prizes for the most best dressed, we're doing prizes for the most creepiest pottery painting, spooky music, sing-alongs and stuff like that. So it's going to be a really, really fun night.
Unsurprisingly, tickets are selling fast, so booking ahead is essential if you want a chance to show off your costume and get in that Halloween spirit.
Go online to Starglazers and you will find it there to book in. If you have any problem booking online, give us a call.
Now we've got our special local music spot, looking for rising talents in the Falmouth area. Let's chat with Harry Blackburn of the band Patria, who's live in studio today. Thank you for joining me, Harry.
Thank you for having me.
Do you think it's easy for new bands to get gigs in Falmouth?
I think so, yeah, definitely. I mean, from my experience, I come from someone who is a Falmouth music student, so, a lot of the lecturers there are there to help us. However, I know so many bands that have not come through Amata, through the music course, sort of setup, who have just come here, who are either on other courses or, don't go to uni at all and just have started a band completely off their own fruition, who play so many regular gigs. They're so talented, really, really, really good bands. Honestly, Falmouth as a music scene is really, really, really open to new musicians. They're very welcoming, and there's always people there to help. So yeah, I'd say it's really easy for anyone to just start a band and get gigs.
That's very good, thank you. Do you think there should be more student band nights?
Well, I mean, there are already so many. I mean, if you think about how many venues we've got in Falmouth, the Chintz, Cornish Bank, Kings, Fives, I mean, they all do their own events. Whisper Magazine put on loads of events. We played a Whisper Magazine event when we were first starting out, and we found it pretty easy to, get on the bill. So, like I say, there could be room for more, but there are already so many, and it's fantastic.
Thank you. Is there anything in the Falmouth venues that could be improved or changed to support the new bands?
I'm not too sure, because, I mean, we've been going for about 1.5 years now, almost going on 2. And looking back, I can't honestly say anything other than we were made to feel so welcome. We started to make a name for ourselves, and then, we were just able to get on the bill.
And is there any advice for starting up bands?
Just network, talk to everyone, introduce yourself, make yourself known, and just show that you're a lovely person and nice to get on with, and you will get gigs.
Well, thank you for your time, Harry. Thanks for joining us in the studio.
Thank you for having me. Cheers.
You're listening to The Mouth.
Every Friday on Source FM. You're listening to The Mouth.
Now, let's take a look at the weather here in Falmouth. Expect a breezy afternoon with sunshine peeking through the clouds. The wind will give it a chill, so a light jacket's a good call. Then, over the weekend, Saturday brings a mix of cloud and sun with a couple of showers later in the day and a high around 11 degrees. Sunday turns mostly cloudy and a bit milder with a near 12 degrees. Ideal for a relaxed stroll, but you might want that coat handy just in case.
And now for the surf report. Today, the surf's looking fairly modest, with waves in the region of around roughly 2 to 4 feet, and swell is mainly coming from the east. Wind and conditions aren't ideal for serious surf action, so it'll be better suited to some casual paddling rather than expecting big barrels.
Now, a sneak peek at some cool things happening this weekend. Following on with the Halloween theme, on Saturday, for the younger ones, there is a family spooky silent disco at Probus Village Hall in Truro. Also on Saturday, for the older ones, there is a Scare Asylum Playzone horror experience at Raise the Roof in Penbryn. And on Sunday, there is a Halloween beach clean with the Cornish Seal Sanctuary in Helston.
This has been The Mouth, your go-to radio show for all things Falmouth and beyond.
You're listening to The Mouth.
Every Friday on Source FM. You're listening to The Mouth.